Hi all, so the next in the series of vintage Mardave videos. This one is super cool. This is the Mardave Firenza, and this is on the Mark IV chassis from around late 75 or early 76, so that this is an early Mark IV. I'll show you why when I take the body off. And the Mark IV, they ran from late 75 until sometime in 79 when the Mark V came along, which we looked back in a couple of videos back. And this is the car that sparked off my interest in the sort of the 1/8 scale pan cars that Mardave were famous for in the 70s. Just so cool. It's such a great looking car. I'll pan round all of it as I go over the body. So this car I managed to pick up probably about 8 years ago, and it was literally new in box. So somebody had just put a couple of bits on the chassis together and that was it. So the body shell was uncut, and back in the day, £21.50. What a bargain. And then this also came with a new in-box recommended Veco 19 engine, £22.75. If only you could pay those prices today. 8 years ago I paid £150 for this, which yeah, seems like a really good price. This was before I think there was as much interest in the Mardave brand from a collector point of view. And then the body, this has been put together as close to the instructions as I could. So the lights were cut out with the clear plastic used, as are the windows. The stickers, or the decals should I say, they were sort of carefully sourced from a couple of companies on the internet, and just looking at the box and looking at the shell, working out roughly the sizes that were needed for those. And then, as per instructions, the back window's been left out to help with a little bit of engine cooling, which was how it was recommended to go. And then on the back of the car, I just wanted to add something that referenced the car. So you can just see there, I put quite a subtle silver Firenza sticker there, which blends in with the paintwork, but just has the name of the car on there. And yeah, these are great looking cars. Very nice. And these cars, these would have been the cars that would have been racing around Mardave's dedicated track, which has been spoken about in a few old vintage magazines. And so that was when the sort of the prime time of that 1/8 racing for Mardave, hot rod racing. And then at that time you had the Mark IV chassis, which had a number of variant body shells on them. Firenza, Capri, there was a couple of F1 cars. I'll get a couple of others out another time. And then during that era, you would have had from Mardave at that time only 1/8 scale cars, and that was the road going cars and the stock car that you saw in the previous video. They're brilliant cars. I'll take the body off and we'll have a look underneath. Under the body of the Mark IV then, as I said, this one was literally new in box, so everything in here is absolutely mint and uncut. So going from the front end, you've got your Mark IV metal wishbone arrangement there. You've got the suspension down there. The steering arrangement was basically you were supplied with some rods, and you'd cut these to make your steering rods there. And then the radio box you'd cut out to have your servos in there, and they'd be linked up to your steering, and then you'd have one out the other side. Which you'd link up for controlling your throttle on your engine, and also pumping on your brake as well. There's that brand new engine that I mentioned, the Veco 19. If you were running this, you'd likely have a larger head on there to assist with cooling, and you'd have your air filter, and I haven't got an exhaust on this either. And then I mentioned this being an early Mark IV chassis, so you've got the original format of the slightly smaller, older fuel tank there, attached directly onto the at the back of the radio box there. And then in about 77, I think it was, they brought in a larger fuel tank which sort of sits at an angle over here with a triangular plate to hold it in place. And then the very late Mark IVs, so I'm guessing around late 78, early 79, they started to come in with a the black plastic one-piece front beam, which is used on the Mark V, so that's where they just started to I guess have some of those parts coming in for the new model. But there you go, that's a really good example there of a Mark IV chassis from Mardave, and also one of the best looking ones. I'm a little bit of a Vauxhall fan myself, so this one I've always really loved. Okay, I'll be back soon with another vintage Mardave. Thank you.